What's going on, wrestling friends, tag teams, partners, and singles competitors? I hope I got that right, Fritos. Anyways, I am your host for tonight, Virgil.
wait a minute. Hold
Well,
on, Mike. Hold on.
bruh, how you just gonna leave in the middle of the street? Wow. Anyways, hello, wrestling singles and tag team competitors. I am your host, Virgil. Eventually, coming back on the screen will be my co-host for tonight, Big Daddy. See, we are here in place of Fritos for tonight. Shout out to him wherever he might be. He is feeling under the weather. So yeah, Fritos isn't feeling good. He's under the weather. So get well, Fritos. Hopefully you'll see him on the Sunday night pod. Otherwise, dude, if for the first time ever in a long time, it might just be a 2-man pod or a 3-man pod, depending on the coachman shows or not. So it'll be very, very interesting. But get well, Fritos. But tonight, you got your boys here, and we're gonna take care of you. So let's get into all the action. This was a tape show of SmackDown. Triple H has been doing a very good job of giving talent holidays off because he knows they want to be with families, and he honestly wants to probably be with his family as well. So this show has already been taped. This episode of SmackDown starts off with highlights from Saturday night's main event and a look at Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes after the show went off the air. Commentary states we will get an update on the undisputed WWE champion later tonight before getting a shot of competitors arriving at the arena. Once we do that, we cut to ringside where the Bloodline make their way down the ramp. We get a look at back at last Friday's SmackDown. A reminder that Solo will face Roman Reigns in Tribal Combat on Raw's Netflix debut. Solo gets a microphone, telling Harper to acknowledge him. Crowd replies with an OTC chant. Solo addresses Roman's challenge for Tribal Combat, dealing with the crowd chant what and telling them once again they need to acknowledge him. Um, in the middle of Solo's promo, Drew McIntyre shows up. He walks down the ramp before stepping through the rope, staring at Bloodline down along all the way. Solo gives him some credit for what he did to Jimmy and the OG Bloodline before talking him down for the interruption. But McIntyre poses a question to Solo of whether, or he asks himself at night, when is Drew coming after me? Which is a very good question to ask. He notes that Solo is the one who cost him a shot at the undisputed WWE Championship a while back, acknowledging that at some stage they have the same goals. Drew reckons he'll keep taking out OG Bloodline members, and Solo does him a favor by taking out Roman Reigns for good. Once they settle their own bits of business, they can settle things between them. Drew is quickly blindsided by Jimmy Uso, who brings McIntyre out of the ring for a beatdown as LA Knight's music hits. Love the way that they are seamlessly beginning to transfer from part to part of the show. It's not like a cold stop or go to commercial break, but it's legit like LA Knight's music hits and everything like that. And we see what's coming up next. How did you feel about the opening segment though of the show, Big Daddy C?
I loved it, man. I like the fact that Drew is he's basically being a man of his word. Like he's stepping foot to every member of the OG bloodline. People that have made his life a living hell over the last couple of years, and Solo is a major part of that, as he was the one that cost Drew the championship, and I believe that was Solo's debut for the as part of the bloodline, if I'm not mistaken. And so wait, was it? Well, that was Solo's debut, right? When he came out with the hoodie.
What? Yeah.
Yeah,
Two. Was it 2 years ago he did that?
yeah, Clash, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Because he lost to Roman 2 years in a row, but I know that first one, yeah, that was when Solo debuted. But yeah, so like just it was very interesting because I wanted to see what Drew was gonna say to him, knowing that there's two different bloodlines going on, and then Solo, is like stepping to Roman basically, and so it's almost like you know they got a common goal, common enemy, as Drew said, but like you know, don't forget, I ain't forget what you did to me. So we going hey, I'm gonna trust that you take out Roman. And once we get this thing done, once we get that done, and I do what I gotta do on my end with the other members of the bloodline, then me and you we gonna have to lock up. And so
Mm-hmm.
so I'm interested to see what happens with Drew and those guys, and Solo and them. But man, January 6th is shaping up to be a historic night, man. Like
Yeah, brother.
I hope it lives up to the bill. This almost this I was like I was telling coach, I'm like this might be probably like this is almost like Raw after Mania, vibes, but on a much more bigger level. This is almost basically like a pay-per-view, but for Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with this.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Absolutely. I think it's going to be one of the biggest nights in wrestling history. Everybody is going to be glued, tuned into the television to see what's going to happen. And this officially kicks off the road to WrestleMania. That January 6th Raw kicks off the road to WrestleMania. And I am super excited for it. But I also do agree with you. I love the this plot by Drew McIntyre. He is taking out bloodline member after bloodline member, and anybody that has helped Roman Reigns, which explains why Seth couldn't be the one to help Roman, and it also explains why Cody couldn't be the one to help out Roman. It explains why it had to be CM Punk because, like I said, they are going to cross paths again, potentially maybe even for the World Heavyweight Championship. So by no means is Drew McIntyre and CM Punk finished. They might be done with for a little bit, but that's because they want CM Punk in the world title picture. But Drew McIntyre and CM Punk will cross paths again. All right, so let's move forward here. The Bloodline versus LA Knight, Apollo Crews, and Andrade. Sleeper match of the night. This match was pretty damn good, I would say. It was a six-man tag match. And some great offense. Couple of the highlight spots. Uh um especially anytime that Jacob Fatu is in the match and you get to see him wrestling. Um, like I said, they went back and forth. They did a couple of cool finishers and moves, but the match was highlighted by this point. Apollo goes up top for a splash and 2 count as Knight runs outside to deal with Solo, only to be attacked by Shinsuke Nakamura. Solo heads back to the ring, tagging himself in for the running hip attack and Uranagi, followed by the Samoan Spike for the win. And the winners via pinfall, the Bloodline. Like I said, this was a really good opening match. Like I said, it was a bunch of ad breaks in there to kind of mess things up, but the Bloodline win with as Knight continues to deal with the presence of Shinsuke Nakamura back and forth. And then backstage after that, we hear the Motor City Machine Guns ahead of Alex Shelley facing Johnny Gargano. They address their history with Gargano before Shelley promises payback, while also tells Saban that he needs to handle this on his own before leaving. So it'll be Johnny versus Alex Shelley tonight in their match. What did you think of that six-man tag match, and what do you think about the Motor City Machine Guns moment?
For the tag match, I thought it was a really good match. With those three, I did like you mentioned the transition, from that, Drew and Solo segment going in, and then have those guys come out and they just start brawling before the match. Like I like that transition as well. Normally a match like this would be like the main event. So it was very interesting to see this kick off the show. But I think one thing I noticed that Triple H is starting to do is like really get people, um, give you something good to start off with in terms of match quality and promos. Like give the fans something to keep them, interested and in tune for the entire show. So that's a good way
Mm-hmm.
to kick off the show there. But yeah, I enjoyed the match between these six guys, and then you throw in Shinsuke. He's the champion right now. The fact that um, things aren't over between him and LA Knight. So it's almost like he's determined to try to put away LA Knight, and LA Knight is trying to
Yep.
get his title back. So It's
Yep.
good that they're continuing that that feud there and basically intertwining it with the match. So yeah, I enjoyed that. And then the Motor City Machine Guns, their moment, with DIY. I think this is shaping up to be a really good feud. These four guys, been around for years. More so the Motor City Machine Guns. They've been all over different industries. I remember watching them in TNA. When they were a lot younger, they were pretty much one of
Mm-hmm.
the top tier tag teams during that time. And so seeing them, in the bigger leagues with WWE, and now that they've had championships, had a championship reign on their belt, not long, but
Yep.
like you said, it's something about the chase that makes the feud a lot more interesting than it is like just winning the title like real soon. And so now that they've lost it and to a heel tag team, now they're trying to get that chase to get them back. And so
Mm-hmm.
I do see a series of matches, on the horizon between between these two teams.
Give them
So
ladders. Give them ladders. Give
yeah,
them give them ladders
yeah,
and let them eat.
yeah,
I mean, you can even honestly make it a TLC match, and I think it'd
yeah,
be dope.
yeah. So um, I'm pretty sure they probably kind of penciled him in on Monday Night Raw because it seemed like this all hands on deck from both shows. so
Yeah. SmackDown,
so
but they got to save some for that next SmackDown on USA
yeah,
because that
yeah, that's
SmackDown on
true. Yeah.
USA,
Is it going to 3?
that is going to 3 hours. They announced that. I
So
shared it in the group chat earlier with you.
yeah. So is Raw so both Raw and SmackDown gonna be 3 hours.
So from everything I've read about Raw, is there is no necessary time limit. They're able to do
Okay.
as much or as little as they want because remember it's streaming.
Ooh.
So like I said, so I mean if they want to go 3 hours, they can. If they want to do 2 hours, they can. It just kind of depends. So
Well,
like I
we
said,
we
this
owe
is
we owe hey we 30-year-old people, boy. We gonna be struggling on Mondays now.
big facts, big facts, big facts,
Oh
big
man.
facts.
Well,
So
we gonna be able to do our streaming.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Saturday night's main. The next we come up to a video package of Saturday night's main event that saw Chelsea Green become the inaugural Women's United States Champion. Then there's exclusive interview with Green after winning the title, saying that this is her time after what she's been through the past few years. And then, as she said, that this next set of years is hers. Be careful what you say, because the last person that said that, aka Patrick Beverly, is now playing in Israel. You don't want to lose that title pretty quickly, there, girl. All right. They showed once again what happened with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. They really souped into that. And then the commentary team addresses the aftermath, describing the champion's diagnosis before wishing them the best on a speedy recovery. Then after that, we cut away to Kevin Owens sporting the Winged Eagle WWE Championship he took last Saturday. As he says, what happened was not his fault. He blames WWE's management for what happened, claiming he was screwed out of the title. What happened to him was a travesty, a tragedy, and that he should be WWE champion, which, of course, in Triple H's booking, the heels actually do make more sense than the baby faces. Um, he's not, but he took the Winged Eagle belt and he's keeping it until he gets what he wants. He says he hasn't snapped yet, but it could be much worse. What happens next is on WWE and the management, aka calling out that man Triple H. Yeah. So Triple H, you got to do what you got to do. Get that man his match at the Royal Rumble, or at the next Saturday night's main event before the Royal Rumble again for the WWE Championship against Cody Rhodes, where he probably might win it, man. I don't know. If they're really going to play into this Cody being injured thing, he might actually win the title. Who knows?
Yeah, I think I found it interesting. They said what 1 night only for the Winged Eagle belt. Yeah, it's still around, isn't it? like I and then I don't know if you noticed, but they kind of revamped it. It's not the OG, the real
Mm-hmm.
OG Winged Eagle. Like it's not that one.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely spiced it up a little bit. It
Sure.
still look fresh. So
Absolutely.
I think it's interesting what they're doing with this whole storyline. I do see KO winning the championship. It's been a long time, man. We're talking about 4 or 5 years since that Universal Championship run he had, and
Mm-hmm.
so I think he's long overdue to get another run, with the championship. I think last time he won it, he lost to Goldberg, which, but yeah, I believe that, KO is this time, man. I think with Cody, I I feel like the story itself. He finished the story, all that jazz. I think now you have KO win it, and then eventually, I guess he had one more match with Cody. I don't know if it finishes off at Mania. Only time will tell. But um, I think this probably will culminate in KO finally winning the championship. Whether it's at the Rumble or Elimination Chamber, who knows? But
And
yeah,
maybe he holds on to it until Mania, where he loses to Randy.
either that or full circle moment. He holds it and goes against your boy at WrestleMania. And
Oh,
and
hey, look! Don't you do it! Don't you hype me up, because they announced today that John Cena's run is going to be a full-time run next year. That's right. He ain't missing a show, baby. He cleared his whole schedule for the whole year to give every WWE everything he got. I'm telling y'all, it's a WWE Championship reign. You might even get a World Championship reign too in there. You might get both.
yeah,
You might give them both of them.
to in advance to Birdman Iceberg, man. I'm sorry, but get ready. They about to have this man break their record, bro. Like, if they don't have Cena break it, it's probably, Orton 2 away. So, I think Orton's still at what, 14.
14.
So, yeah, so he's 3 away from breaking it.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Cena, yeah, their record is getting broken. I'm like, he didn't put too many folks over the last several years and went away. So I feel like Triple H's gonna gift them this one, man. So I'm sorry for all the Cena haters, but it's looking like they're gonna give Cena number
No, no, no,
17,
no, no.
man.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you be sorry to them. You let them know whose time it is. Whose time is it? Come on, C. Tell me whose time it is.
And it's time yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't around yet. So he probably, who knows, he might pop up on the 6th. So
Oh, he's
like,
definitely popping up on the 6th. I expect him to probably show up during Tribal Combat,
yeah,
maybe
because they
even.
already talking about Raw. They already talking about the Rock. So I'm like, we
Mm-hmm.
expect to see the Rock. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see John Cena. So
Yep. All right,
mhm.
so going back into the show. Strowman steps out with a festive look, tossing presents to the crowd. He looks like Santa Claus. They go back and forth. He goes back and forth with Grayson Allen and A-Town Down Under, and he's warning them to watch their tongue. And then he starts getting mad or whatnot as Grayson Waller tries to set up a new team. The Brains and the Braun, get it? Ha ha ha. Anyways, um, Braun Strowman gets angry, he slaps the table, he tells him, "Didn't I tell you to hold your tongue?" And he gets up like he's getting ready to beat him up. And then, of course, Carmelo Hayes' music hits. He comes out to address last week. He calls Braun Strowman the B word, and then off they go for a match. That match, Hayes tries to Hayes tried to take the big man down, but to no avail. He taunts him in the crowd. He lures him out to the ring, and of course, via countout, Carmelo Hayes wins. I haven't seen a via countout win in so freaking long, dude. That's crazy. What did you think of this match? What did you think of Carmelo outsmarting Braun Strowman?
Piss break, man.
Mm,
It was a
good,
piss break. Yeah,
good.
like, don't get me wrong. I love Braun, man, Braun, but it's a whole different ball game than what he was, man, when he was champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not even the same. Like, hell, even like shit before he came back, that feud he had with Bronson Reed, like, that was top tier, and then before they decided to put Bronson into the whole War Games match. Um, I just no, I think I think Braun Strowman, man, I feel like it's time to get him back. I feel like it's time to get him back healed, man. Get him back being that monster among men, like
Get
that
him,
fierce, that
get him.
yeah,
It's either that or put him back or put him in the Wyatt Six or have him feud with the Wyatt Six, one or the other.
yeah, yeah. I'm like he. I feel like he was always better as a heel. When they tried to make him face, I feel like it kind of took away that aura, that fear factor. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's not as dominant. Um, I thought it was a piss break. Nothing against those two guys, but I just think ain't nobody trying to see no win via count out. Especially
Ain't
after a
nobody trying to
squash
see
match
you,
last
Otis.
week, right? So I'm like him feuding with Brandon T. Jackson. I mean, it's like I mean, I don't know, man. I
Bro,
just
why do you always call that man that? That is so funny to me.
like it just don't like I don't know, man. It doesn't sell to me, man. It doesn't sell. It's
Fair enough.
like it should have been one of those one offs.
Fair enough. Backstage, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae talk about their women's tag team championship match. When, of course, Tiffany Stratton walks up to wish them good luck. She says she can't wait to be there to celebrate when they win the tag titles. But Candice says she and I agreed that Tiffany needed to stay away for this one. Stratton seems very disappointed as we get a graphic for Gargano versus Shelly up next. We come back from commercial break, and some signs of the night. We cut backstage where Carmelo Hayes is running away from Braun Strowman. Santos Escobar is no snitch. Angel tries to misdirect him, and Pretty Deadly wants to look at their musical before Hayes blindsides the big man with a steel chair. He runs off with Strowman chasing him once more as they cut away. Then back at ringside, Shelly makes his way to the ring. Gargano makes his way after that. Then they show us the tag team championship match. This match to me, I'm going to go ahead off the riff and tell you this was the main event match. We like I said, we'll talk about the match that came after, but this was the main event match. Gargano and Shelly absolutely tore it up in this match, as you figured they would. These are two prime wrestlers. Like I said, they went back and forth. Obviously, the pinfall win comes when Shelly goes up top, but Ciampa rushes down to give out to him, only for Saban to come out and intervene. All the same, the distraction allows Gargano to roll Shelly up for the win and to steal the win from him. What did you think of that match?
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. I think that was main event quality there. You got these two seasoned veterans, these two guys that they can tear the house down in the ring. Just technical, high flying maneuvers. Pretty much, they wow you at every turn. And
Mm-hmm.
so it just makes you want more to see exactly how it is when you actually put both teams together in a high
Mm-hmm.
profile match. Um, yeah, I thought it was great. I'm ready to see part two between these guys, or part three. I think this probably be the third match between these two teams. Yeah, I'm ready for part three, man. Ready for
Yep.
part three.
Yep. Feed families off of that.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then after that, we go backstage. Bianca and Naomi are talking about Jade Cargill being attacked, and Naomi filling in to help her defend the tag titles against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Bianca offers her one of the belts, but she says not till she's earned it. Her music hits, and Naomi makes her entrance for our main event of the evening as we go to commercial break. Um, After commercial break, the challengers make their way. And then after introductions, the match begins. A lot of back and forth here. Again, Nia Jax tries to use her power and her giantess status. Obviously, Candice LeRae is a for sure surefire worker, one of the better women's workers in the ring. This match goes back and forth until finally Tiffany makes her way down the ramp with her Money in the Brave briefcase in hand as Candice takes Bianca back down for a cover, but Naomi breaks the pin before getting a tag, but the ref doesn't see it, forcing her back to the apron. Jax calls for Tiffany to hand her the briefcase as a weapon, and Stratton does so after some hesitation, leading to the ref catching her with it. She gets knocked off the apron by Bianca, who tags in Naomi, hits a crossbody to Jax on the floor, while Naomi takes Candice down for the split leg moonsault for the win. and your winners via pinfall, and still WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Naomi. Jax, Candice, and Stratton are forced to regroup on the outside while the champs celebrate the victory as the show comes to a close. And that is your SmackDown review. What did you think of that main event? I think this match was more so about keeping the storyline going with who took out Jade Cargill and added more layers to that story.
I thought it was a solid match. Nothing too crazy, but I think, for the most part, in terms of I like what you mentioned about Candice LeRae being at work, pretty much that female, like the female workhorse on SmackDown. I mean, just always there. Like, she's definitely stepped up in terms of, like, just her involvement, what she's willing to do, work her way up to the main roster and be like that important figure. I know since they got rid of Indy Hartwell, I wasn't sure what was going to happen with her. I wasn't sure if she's going to get lost in the shuffle, but I like that they found a way to keep her involved in some main storylines on the roster. But in regards to Naomi and Bianca, I was shocked. I didn't think that they were going to give her. I thought they was probably just going to try to have Bianca ride it solo. Just defend the titles on her own. Well, looks like she got to have a partner, I guess. But yeah, it definitely adds to the storyline about who took out Jade. And so, we don't know if it could have been Naomi. We don't know if it was Bianca herself.
Right.
Anybody, So I definitely like the extra layer that they added on to this.
Yeah. So like I said, I think that it's going to be major to see. And bro, the more I'm watching all of this, the more I'm believing it was Naomi that took out Jade Cargill and cost her her tag titles. And Jade is going to have I feel like Jade is going to come back and eventually end up being the heel in the fight or whatnot. I do because like I said, she's going to be that justified heel, but she's still going to come back and be dirty and probably have heel tactics. We'll see.
Or what do you think about this? What do you think about them actually doing the same thing with Bianca and Naomi that they did with Kofi and Woods?
Ooh, that wouldn't be bad either.
Make it as if they both took out Jade.
Yep.
Basically replacing Jade and say, hey, we gonna be the tag team champions.
Yeah, I like it.
She holding us back, but hey, like, we gonna do this thing because the whole layer. The other thing that adds to it is that a lot of people feel like Jade hasn't really improved. Like, she's not that great in the ring, and so you can kind of throw that into the main storyline and make it seem like Bianca's like you ain't holding up your end of the bargain. So really, the reason why we winning championships or we retaining is because of me. I'm the one carrying us. And so Bianca could take that approach and be like, I need somebody that could be on the equal playing field with me. And where I ain't got to carry is 50-50. So they can go that route. So I think I honestly see that happening going into, once Jay decides to come back. She'll probably be back around Rumble time. But I definitely see that being the angle that they can take and have Bianca and Naomi be the ones turn heel fully and be like, yeah, we the one that took Jade out. So, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But y'all, that is our SmackDown review show for tonight. We appreciate you all for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Until next time, keep those big pistols sharp. Hey, please tune in Sunday. I got a special announcement for everybody Sunday. Please tune in Sunday, but keep those booking pistols sharp and keep on booking. Peace.